Fly rod. 2 fly rods. Greetings from Dystopia, episode 248. Let's get back to that kitchen box, chuck box, whatever you want to call it, box. So I've kind of been beating this. It's like beating a dead horse, you know. What do I want to do here? So I like the big box that I made. It's the kitchen cabinet. You know, just kind of recycled a kitchen cabinet that I got at Menards. Really cheap. I just had to buy door closer hardware and a couple handles. Other little miscellaneous stuff. That said, I'm not happy with it. It's too big. It's too heavy. So, what I did, and I'll show you right here while I'm talking, I'll lay over a piece of video. I took out the right rear back seat, and that gave me, I forgot how big this space is exactly. It's like 23 across the van this way, and 39, I think it was, deep to the back of the middle row seats. Pull off of that a little bit so you're vertical, you know, so a vertical line going to the front of the van, and then the seat leans back a little bit, so you lose this area right here. There's also a fuse panel just in the back door that I don't want to lose access to. So my old, if you've been watching the videos for a while, my red lid clap top boxes that I used forever in the van fit in that spot perfectly, you know, lengthways, and they also fit sideways. They also fit double stacked, which would give me more room at the back. So I'm going to keep that in mind for right now. I'm going to go look at what's available at Menards. I'm a big one for this goes back to IT time, you know, days, years, decades. In IT, we built a storage system for a government lab and for a couple clients that, or I should say, I've built those for clients since. And I called it COTS, Commodity Off the Shelf Hardware. And I have that mentality. I don't want anything I do on this van to be something that's custom, something that's a one-off. I don't want parts machined, you know. I'm so hesitant to do something like that because you never know. In a year, I may decide to trade this in on the bigger van. Or I may trade it in on something else completely. I don't know. And because it's a wagon, because it's equipped as a wagon with 3-row seats, granted they're mostly down, I don't want to tear things out and get rid of things. I want to be able to put the seats back in. It took me 15 minutes tops to get the back seat out. It's just 4 T50 bolts into the floor, so it's really easy to do. It took me longer to figure out which were the right 2 front bolts than it did to get the whole thing out, because there's, I think, 4 down each side, and 2 are the mounting bolts and 2 are the sliding track assembly where the lift lock goes and all of that. So yeah. Once I got that figured out, we were all right. Sorry, my display, I don't know if you can see that or not, my screen, it's gone nearly black because it's sitting up in the heat. That's to be fixed soon. So yeah, I'm starting to do the cheap things on the van that I can do, that are easy to make it workable. That's always been my complaint, and most of that is simply my fault because I haven't put the time into the van to figure it out, to do things like taking that seat out, It was just this morning I got the wild hair up my backside and said, let's just do it. See where we end. All right, here's one more piece since I'm stuck at the light waiting anyway. So the idea is I'll go back and use those clap top boxes for now. And what I'm going to do is look for, I don't know, maybe D-rings, maybe L-track. I don't want to use E-track because that's typically designed for a wall mount, and these are on the floor. So E-track is what you normally see like in a moving van, the big rectangles going down the side in the rail. So initially I'm going to use those clap top boxes. It may be that I end up building an actual box, kitchen box, to go back there. I've wanted one of those forever and a day, but I'm hesitant to really tear into this van and do anything that's permanent because, again, I don't know, am I keeping it till it dies? I probably could. I mean, somebody in the transit group on Facebook just posted a photo. Theirs rolled 400,000 miles. Yeah, so, and I've already run into somebody with a 2017, same year as this one, that's already at 260 some thousand miles. He's a hotshot delivery, so custom deliveries. Anyway, so the idea, if I put a box back there, that you would open the right rear door, and then it would have a door on it maybe, or just pull out drawers behind it. So it would either have a door or just pull out drawers. The pull out drawers would be there regardless. Does that make sense? So at shelf or at work height, I would make a tabletop that slides out of the box, or you push it back in and pull out a narrow drawer at the bottom, a shallow drawer, and then a deeper drawer at the top. So you would have a shallow drawer, the pull-out shelf that goes out the back, and a deeper drawer. Probably limited to that height that you kind of see right here, right below this window. You can kind of see back there, but I don't have the seats all the way down. But yeah. Anyway, so am I going to build a box, or am I just going to keep using the clap boxes? I don't know. I have a trip coming up in 2 weeks up to Wisconsin. So I'll use the clap boxes for that trip, see how everything works. If it doesn't work, then I'll start looking at building that box. It would be a simple, almost like a speaker box, these subwoofer boxes you see guys with, just maybe 1/2-inch ply with some structural support inside, black carpet, like vehicle carpet on the outside, so that male Velcro items stick to it. I'll put a little metal plate so magnetic items can stick to it. Put a couple 4 rails around the top of it so I can set something on it and it's not going to roll off if I decide to drive away. We'll play with it and see what happens. Anyways, I'm going to go in the store. So I have to laugh at myself. I delete seated the back of the van, removed the back 2 fold down seats. Both times I didn't record the process of taking out the seats, but either way, you can see it's just 4 bolts. And what I did is I added these D-rings, I guess you'd say, with this plastic cover that I got at the big box store. And there's a 5/8" spacer that I put in between there, down. So I take the bolt out. Sorry. Bolt comes out. 5/8" spacer. Then this rests on top of it. This shackle actually has a metal plate underneath this raised portion of it. And then I just run the bolt down through the middle of it. And doing that, what will happen is I will have 8 complete lashing points back here, so that no matter how I arrange gear, I'll still be able to lash it, you know, just this way, or that way, or diagonally, or all the way across, or just in the middle, you know, however I need to lash it down. Plus I have the 4 additional fixed hard points in the van. So with the seats in the intermediate position, there's actually a ridge that sticks out right there, but to the base of the other seat bracket, all the way to the back, is 45 and, just round it up and say 45 and a quarter inches. So that gives me, let's run this across, don't mind me. I'm doing this cross measurement. Well, I'll have to go to that seat bracket right there, which is 45 and a half. Inside to inside on those brackets, everything's in the way here. Inside to inside on that bracket is 44 inches. Yeah, 44 inches. I could pull up the carpet and take that out, but the whole idea in this mod is that I can convert the van back to the full, what is that, 5-7 passengers in under, say, an hour, to take out whatever I put in and remount the seats. So I don't want to take out the seat belts. Alright, so I picked up the other rings and parts to do, you know, the driver's side of the van. And what I did this time, instead of getting the steel spacer, is I picked up a nylon spacer. I'm not going to be strapping these down with 1,000 pounds on them, so I'm sure that the nylon will be good enough. And basically, it's the perfect fit. It's hard to do this one-handed. So this spacer just does go up the bolt itself. You just got to kind of turn it up with a little bit of headroom. There. So it's a 3/8 by 1 inch by 3/8. And it fits in there just perfect. Alright, let me get these others mounted. Alright, and there we go. So now I have 8 tie downs for whichever way I decide to put things in the van. I just threw some extra straps over there for the moment. So now the question I'm working on is, what type of box do I want back here? What I'm thinking about is a camp kitchen chuck box style that's permanently affixed. So now my question is, do I want it the same size as 2 of these and it comes out the back with 1 drawer, or do I want to go the same height as 2 of these vertically and then have 2 drawers coming out the front with a small top, you know, a frame around the top so things don't slide off, kind of like this has this little gutter type deal around it? Or do I want to go the size of 4 of these boxes vertically, and then I can have 2 drawers that come out the back, as well as a shelf that slides all the way out to the door, which would allow me to stand here and cook. And then on the inside on that end have 2 bins that slide inward, 2 shelves that slide inward, or drawers, and then have the top be able to fold up to access the upper drawer on that one. So I'll take this next trip coming up here to the Driftless and play with it a little bit and see what the arrangement is, see what I like. Maybe I'll go, you know, maybe that tall, maybe, I don't know, what is that? I got a tape measure back here. So let's see. Right now, this box is 13 inches deep. There's a shelf back there at 18 and a half. So I could go to that height right there and not interfere with cup holder or anything else in the back. Or I could go to the full 24 inches high up to the front, which would put me right over at about this height right across. So, yep, things to play with, and the only way you'll know is to get out and use it. So that's my goal for the driftless trip in Wisconsin.